would be another good example there. Okay. So also then we have our practitioner of the year, which is 5 to 15 years, and then advanced is 15 and above. So y'all are going to get an email after this meeting, and we'll let y'all know exactly how to nominate anyone. But we're going to give y'all 2 weeks to get those nominations in. So by Friday, November 13th, and then everyone who's nominated will get a little form packet to fill out, and we'll have that go to review committee. And then it's always our very first chapter meeting of the next year. So our January 2021, where we'll announce those winners and present plaques to them. And of course it might be a Zoom announcement and get your plaque mail, but either way, you will get your plaque. So y'all be thinking about people you'd like to nominate. You can nominate someone for each of those 3 categories. That being said, we're so excited to have y'all on here today. We're so excited. Hope we have some guests. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to let each of our board members, starting out, give a little quick introduction, any announcements that y'all want to make, and then announce any guests. And then we'll ask any of our other members to introduce us to your guests. All right. And so if y'all will just unmute yourself when it's time. That way we won't have a lot of feedback and stuff. All right. So Matt Westerfield, I'm going to let you start us off.
Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Westerfield, and I am president-elect this year on the board. And I actually did not invite any guests for this meeting. I've been a little swamped at work, and I'm actually in the office right now, but I didn't come dressed like this.
I didn't know if the chest hair was real. All right. Thank you, Matt. All right, Liz.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I cannot stop laughing at Magnum PI. I'm literally dying. Okay, so I'm Liz, and I'm past president, and I did actually invite some people, but I don't think that they were able to join. So sadly, I don't have anyone to introduce, but I'm still pumped about everyone who is here, and just excited about this whole Halloween costume contest.
You look cute. All right, Bill Moak.
All right, everybody, I'm Bill Moak. I'm VP of Programs, and I did invite some students, and Bellhaven had a day off today, and so they decided to give everybody a break. So none of my students are here.
Oh.
So I'll have to dock their grades or something, you know. I don't know, but I did have some good intentions, but you know.
That's all right. All right, so Sophie Wolf, do you have any guests with you?
I do. Also, I'm Martha Stewart, for those of you that can't see. We're over here working in the garden. And I have 2 guests. One is Paul Wolf, my husband, who works at Visit Jackson. Some of you may have heard from him earlier in the year if you are a member. And then also I have Jessica Davenport, who I want all of you to meet. She is the wholesale director for La Brioche Patisserie. So if y'all are planning for end of the year events, or if y'all are trying to figure out how to give Christmas gifts this year, she's the one to talk to. She can make you the best packages, also can help with events and things of that nature. Just all around amazing person. And when she's not doing La Brioche, she also has Sugar Ray's. So if you remember, Sugar Ray's was a candy shop that was downtown across from the King Edward. She now is doing cinnamon rolls, and she is doing some holiday cinnamon rolls. And I have to tell you, they're the best cinnamon rolls I've ever had in my life. I can't say enough about Jessica, so make her feel welcome.
Right.
And just a few announcements. So I'm the VP of Communications. We've added several jobs in the last couple of days to the job bank. So I highly recommend, if you have some folks that are looking for jobs, send them towards the job bank. And that is updated when we get things. So also, if you have some jobs that you need up on the website, feel free to send those our way.
All right. Thank you, Sophie. All right, Robin Kennebrew, one of our masked ladies.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Kennebrew. I am the treasurer. So as send out a couple of invites. I'm not sure if they are here because I waited to the last minute to do it, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if I have a guest that is here. If you are my guest, please say so. And I just want to second what Sophie said about Jessica. She's awesome, and those cinnamon rolls are really good.
Now you gotta make me want to try them.
Thank you.
All right, Kathy Dugan. And Kathy, I'm loving your costume too. Whoop, you're still muted, Kathy. Kathy, you got to unmute. There you go.
Okay, there we go. I'm Kathy Dugan, and I'm the secretary. I invited one guest, and he had a meeting that conflicted, so I invited some guests from our cabinet. We have an educational role here at Soil and Water, so these are actually, at one time, were live snakes. So I borrowed some snakes.
Oh, wow.
I guess the snakes are my guests.
All right, thank you, Kathy. That's a very legit costume right there. All right, and Bonnie Jackson, our member at large, another masked lady today.
Yes, I am, but I'm going to change mine out. Kathy is the bomb. I'm going to say you look great. I invited a guest. Her name is Shannon Tatum. She is the production manager for JSU. So she does the newspaper and she does the magazine, and they are award winning. And she is a PRAM member most of the time, but like everything else, she couldn't make it today because they are on deadline for getting their online newspaper together.
All right. Thank you, Bonnie. And Mara Hartman.
Okay, I serve as the career coordinator for PRAM, and I don't have any guests today, but I do want to put out a call for action. Who could say they want their APR? I'll be your contact if you have any questions or need help in any way. So we currently have at least 5 PRAM members engaged in the process. So if you decide to go for the goal, you won't be alone. It's not a breeze, but once you're done, you'll feel like a world champion. So let me know if you're kicking around the idea, and I'll be glad to coach you to victory.
I feel like that deserves a little applause, Mara. Thank you. I love it. All right, y'all. So if you are interested in getting your APR, please let Mara know. And we'll say too, I had a guest today that ended up having a sick child at the last minute too. So things happen, but all right. And then Miss, I was about to say Jean Cook, but she has been replaced by.
Hello, cats and kittens, all you cats, and I'm Jean Cook. I'm the VP of Membership, and I am happy to say I have 2 guests that are here. I have not seen them in a long time, so they probably just think I've gone off the deep end. We have Daryl Robinson and Shamika Reed, and I'm so happy that they're here. I'll be giving door prizes throughout this meeting.
All right. Thank you, Jean. And yes, so we got lots of prizes to give away today, so that's exciting.
Oh,
right.
I had another job. I forgot. So I'm to call on other people I know who have invited guests, so they can introduce them. So we have 2 members who I'm aware of that have invited guests who RSVP'd. Corey Jones, do you want to introduce your guest?
Where's Corey? I was going to unmute her. Hey, Corey, if you want to unmute yourself and introduce your guest. All right.
Let's see.
Well. All right, who is your other one?
Are here. So her guest is Jason Jones. I'm not sure if he's on. And Sherwin Johnson, you also invited a guest.
Right. Sherwin, do you want to unmute and introduce your guest?
Hi, I don't have a guest. Sorry.
Okay. All right. You get credit for inviting one, so you're good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did. I invited Georgette Keeler, but
Yep.
I don't think. Oh yeah, she's on. Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, good. You go in the raffle. So you're in the raffle for your guest coming.
Okay, great.
And Mary Margaret, did you have more than I got confused in the beginning. Did you have a guest who showed up, or you had somebody but they were not able to come?
Yeah, she had a sick child, so
Okay. All right. So everyone who invited guests whose guest has come will go in this little raffle later.
And Georgette, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I will. I work for Jackson Public Schools. I actually know you all. I'm not exactly a guest to PRAM, but I have been before, but I'm back after a long time. So good to see everybody.
Awesome. Good, we're glad to have you. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do a drawing for door prize number 1. Our Carol Baskins is going to draw out of her basket.
My basket. All right, let's see. So the first door prize is going to be a $25 gift card to Amazon. And if I call your name, then you're going to put your name, your email to Robin, and it's Catherine Dugan. So can you see that? That's just is it backwards?
No, it's right.
Yay!
Okay.
Thank you.
There's our first winner.
Yay, Catherine.
All right.
All right, and Jean, if you want to tell them a little bit about the $100 raffle that will take place in November.
Sure. Sure. Before I do that, I just saw Corey rejoin. Can she introduce her guest? Because she got bumped out. So why don't you do that, Corey?
Hey, sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties. I'm here. I could hear y'all, but you couldn't hear me. So anyway, I'm here, and Jason Jones is here too, and he's at Department of Agriculture and Commerce. And so I'm glad to have him here with me.
Okay, thank you. So in November, if any of our guests who are here today who join our chapter before our November meeting, which I think is November, is it the 3rd Wednesday in November because of Thanksgiving? We normally
I think it's 18th.
Okay. It's 18th? Thanks.
I believe that's right.
So you will be entered into a raffle for a $100 check. Normally we give a free membership, but we just thought we would send you money. So if you want to join, I'll put my email in the chat, and you could just contact me, and then your membership will be good from the time you join all through next year.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Jean. All right, and Bill, well, Jean, while we have you up there, let's go ahead and draw one more door prize, and then we'll let Bill Moak, our VP of Programs, introduce our speaker.
All righty. Let's see who we got. Chantel Lott.
Yay, Chantel.
You're great.
I am. That's exciting.
Yay.
And Chantel, if you'll just put your email in the chat, if you don't mind, or can send to Robin Kinderberg, and she'll send you a Amazon gift card. All right, Bill, we'll let you take the floor.
Okay. You guys, if you've ever tried to organize something like this meeting, these ladies, especially Jean and everybody on the team, have done such a great job of putting this together. So we owe Jean a round of applause. This is not easy to pull all this together. So thank you, Carol Baskin. So I want to introduce our speaker today, and it's somebody who is a great friend to the public relations profession. And I've known Joe for well over 30 years, probably. And yeah, that's right. We got to know each other when we were at Southern Miss together. So Joe is a New Orleans native, and he has more than 32 years of PR experience in government, association, and educational and nonprofit PR. He's a retired lieutenant colonel in the United States Army Reserve and is a former commander of the 314th Public Affairs Operations Center located in Birmingham. So while in the armed forces, Joe successfully operated 4 joint information bureaus and 1 joint information center in the 3 years from 91 to 94. And he includes, some of his assignments included joint logistics, Over the Shore in 92, the Presidential Task Force for Andrew, the National Boy Scout Jamboree, and others. So he has trained more than 3,500 people yearly in media relations throughout almost all the U.S., as well as in England, Norway, France, Belgium, Paraguay, Mexico, and the Netherlands, and a partridge in a pear tree. So Joe graduated from Tulane with a Bachelor of Arts in American Military History. He holds a Master of Arts in PR from Ball State University, and he got his PhD in Mass Comm at Southern, as I mentioned, with an emphasis in PR and advertising. He's an accredited member of PRSA, so he's a big fan of accreditation, and he has also served at the national level with PRSA and as a member of the College of Fellows. So that's quite a distinction there. And of course, he's also a long-term fan, as you can see from his hat, of the Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints. So Joe is going to be hopefully meet with us again next year to do a longer form training. So we wanted him to talk to us a few minutes just to give us a taste of that. So Joe, take it away, buddy.
Well, thank you, Bill. It's wonderful to be with you, and I can't wait to get to Jackson in 2021. It's one of my favorite cities, and thank you so much. By the way, now it's up to 40 years now, Bill. Maybe some Botox I need or something, but it's 40 years. And before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and change hats. We just moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's the last stop on the choo-choo track, and in honor of my new location now, we're here with our daughter, our son-in-law, and more importantly, our 10-year-old granddaughter, red-haired, blue-eyed, kick-ass little girl named Victoria. I just call her the queen. But it's an honor to be with you, and let me go ahead and start the slides. What I'm going to do, and Bill and I have talked back and forth about this, and thank you, Bill, for hanging with me. I thought I'd talk about a presentation I gave when COVID started. Gee, it seems like 20 years ago now that it started. And I was on a call with PRSA with 5 other presenters, and I think there was 1,500 people on a call. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about crisis communication and COVID-19. And then Bill, if that's all right with you, when we get there in 2021, we'll do a day-long media relations workshop. So let's kick this off. Hopefully you can see the slides there, complete with sound effects. The address is wrong because I'm in Chattanooga. My phone number is correct. I am on Twitter, so that's correct as well. And again, the email's still good, but the address is different now because I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Again, when we talk about what we've been through, God bless all of you, and thank you all for what you've done today. I thoroughly enjoyed the introductions, the masks. It's a shame I can't get into the drawings because I'm a big Amazon.com person. So Gene, I'd love to have the $25 gift certificate, but all I do is buy books. I have a serious addiction. It's called history books. So, but maybe I can get in the next one when I get there in 2021. I'm also a FEMA instructor out of Emmitsburg, again, for the United States. And I travel around the United States teaching everything from the basic course all the way to our brand new master class. So I'd encourage any of you who want to get into that, go to the website for the Emergency Management Institute and register for that and see if you can get in some of those classes. But let's talk about crisis. We've been in this crisis since, I guess, February, maybe longer. So I thought I'd share with you just some thoughts about things you can do when you're in this crisis, and God only knows how much longer we're going to be in it. But I wanted to kick off with some steps for for communicating in a crisis, because that's what we do. We communicate. The first step is empathy. You got to live it. You got to live it. Having been through, 11 hurricanes growing up in New Orleans, my parents lost everything in Hurricane Katrina. It seems it's 15 years ago. Mississippi got hit. It looks like New Orleans and the Gulf Coast will be hit again, and maybe even parts of Jackson will get some wind and rain. But that empathy is so important to share right from the beginning and to live it. Number 2, we need to confirm facts, and that becomes an interesting problem now, and well, more importantly, an opportunity. We're living in a world of a five-headed media monster, which really is the best time to be a public relations professional. And again, my son, who deals with it even more, he works for a very small NFL team. You may have never heard of them, the Dallas Cowboys. in Dallas. His 15th year. He's director of media relations there. Matter of fact, I taught him at Southern Miss. I had him in 3 of my classes. That was really weird. But the 5-headed media monster that we're dealing with, and you know as well as I do, traditional. The first thing I did when I got to Chattanooga, I subscribed to the local newspaper. I'm a weirdo. But again, so traditional TV, radio, newspaper, magazine. The second type is social media, which has exploded. Again, I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on Facebook. Facebook. Again, because I have a problem with a lot of things they do. Again, so social media allows us to push our messages out. The third one is media we own for your own organization, your own website, your own Twitter, your own Facebook, your own, again, LinkedIn. You push your own message out. The fourth one is an interesting one. It's called stalker media, which absolutely infuriate me. I did some full-time academic work, and I have a serious problem. My BS meter goes off quick because I love teaching and I love working with students, and I don't play the political game. So I can't do it full-time. But understand, stalkers now attack you online, which is really, really bad. I'd rather you tell me to my face who you are so we can deal with it. I'm part Italian. My mother is Italian. My dad's Cajun, led a very confusing childhood. We ate really well in New Orleans, and my grandfather was a hitman. So that was in New Orleans. He was the nicest hitman I ever knew. Shame he's not alive today. We can really deal with these stalkers. The last one that we're dealing with when we're trying to confirm facts is I didn't know what it was until 2016. I didn't know what fake news is. I always thought there was truth and there was lies. That's what I thought. So again, the second step, we need to confirm facts. And we're teaching our FEMA public affairs officers not only to confirm, but to verify. And we're seeing that in public health because some people are not listening to public health all the time. So again, confirm facts. Step 3, what is not known? Again, I don't know everything about COVID. I'm 66. I've gotten a flu shot. I got a pneumonia shot. I got a tetanus shot. I'm going to get the shingles shot. When the vaccine comes out, I hope it's okay. I mean, I want to take it. I'm in that age, and I need to hang around for my granddaughter because I'm helping to pay her college education, and she's got 8 more years before she goes to college. So again, what is not known? What do we not know? Again, Franklin Delano Roosevelt said the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself. So we need to tell people that. Step 4, what are the processes we're doing to find the answers to the unknown? What are we doing? What are the steps we're taking right now to do that? Step 5, give some action steps. Again, I've got, I think, 15 masks now. I've got a bunch of New Orleans Saints masks. I got a Tulane mask. I've got an Army mask. I got to get a Southern Mississippi to the top and a Ball State mask, but I wear masks. I don't have a problem with that, but give people action steps. What can they do to deal with this? Step 6 is where do we find more information? And again, the challenge for us is to make sure it's confirmed, it's verified, and you're the source to get it. Let your organization be the source they believe. Step 7, statement of commitment in real terms. 2010 BP, are they still on the Gulf Coast? Are they still in Louisiana? Are they still in Alabama? Are they still in Florida? I mean, are they? What's a commitment of real terms? The pandemic of 1918 took our country 3 to 4 years to deal with. What's the commitment in real terms that you're going to do? Step 8 is something that my son and I came up with in March, oh my goodness, now 2016, 17. It was published in PRSA Tactics. It was published digitally, even though I wanted a copy of it. I had to print it out. And my son called me one time and said, Dad, we need to come up with something better than people saying in a tragedy. And I've dealt with 5 crises in my life, and people have died, including a very good friend of mine who was killed on the King Khalifa Highway 1 week after Gulf War I ended. Tough news conference for me. I cried my eyes out before I went on camera. And I said these words, and there's nothing wrong with it. Our hearts, our prayers, and thoughts go out to those who have been affected. My son said, Dad, we need to do better than that. That sounds trite. So we reached back to Aristotle, and I thought, wow, I guess all that education, because he has 2 degrees from Southern Mississippi. My daughter has 1. I guess all that paid off. And I said, Aristotle, really? He said, yeah, Dad, we need to channel our inner Aristotle. So in the article, we came up with what we called a relationship building bridge technique to work with different groups of people. And we focused it around 3 things: ethos, ethics, What is our moral compass? What guides us to do the right thing, even when it's tough? The second thing we talked about was logos. What's logical? What's logical? I've flown now 4 times on Delta, and being a Southerner, I'm going to say this. I'm fixing to fly 2 more times before the year ends. Going in November, we're going to see our son in Dallas. Finally, we haven't seen him in almost a year. And then in December, I'm actually going to do a FEMA job for a brand new course we have. It's called L105. It's a combination of 3 courses. And I'm going to Little Rock, Arkansas. And now Delta does something that was always seemed logical. They now board the plane from the back to the front. Logos, logic. The last thing is pathos. I have been a public relations professional since 1981. To me, it's the greatest profession in the world. I still love history, but I love the passion of helping people, of making a difference and telling stories and changing behaviors. I hope before I die, we can eradicate all racism from this earth. And we can also make sure that women are paid the same exact money that men are paid. So my granddaughter will not have to be judged twice, once as a woman and once as a public relations professional. She already wants to be in public relations. But again, understand that pathos is the third thing. And in the article, we talk about the fact you must form a relationship and build a bridge with organizations. So when you go out to talk to people, you would say something like, I've just come from the people who've been impacted by this terrible tornado in Mississippi or the hurricane in Mississippi, and this is what they want you to know. So channel your inner Aristotle. So again, that's in PRSA Tactics. It's digital. I think it's March of either 2017 or 2016. But again, that's when we talked about it. The step 9, we're teaching our public affairs officers at FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the Emergency Management Institute. And I've been with them for 10 years. And the program we put in the new Advanced Public Information Officer course is awesome. And it's a week-long class. I don't know if Mississippi has ever asked for it to be taught in Mississippi, but if you know anybody in the emergency management field, maybe they can get the course brought to Mississippi. Right now, we have 4 courses going to be taught in 2021. They're going to open up in January. But here's the concept. The right information to the right people at the right time to make the right decision. And think about how important that is, especially with Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and the speed that we have to communicate today. In crisis communication, you need to send something out within 90 seconds to shape the message, not be shaped by the message. So those are the first 9 steps. And Bill, I guess if anybody has questions, just yell out or unmute or scream at me, or don't try to throw anything at me, but more than happy to answer anything as I proceed on.
Or they can put them in the chat box too.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay, cool. So if you see them, if I don't see them, please let me know. Here's some traits of crisis communication. It's also going to be important when we do media relations in 2021. It looks like my hat is making some different wiggles there, so I'm going to take it off. All right. Yeah, I have a lot of gray hair now. Thanks, Bill. So again, so some things to think about. You got to be crystal clear, clarity, succinct. That's the first thing we've got to get information on, especially today. COVID scares me. I mean, 220,000 Americans dead. That's unacceptable in my book. 75,000 a week or a day getting the disease. That's unacceptable. I mean, I can't see it. I was in the Army for 22 years. Well, I mean, I never was in combat. God bless our veterans that have been in combat. I'm a Cold War warrior. But be succinct, clarity, crystal clear. Number 2, avoid jargon. Every profession in the world has jargon. Every profession. You need to avoid it. It's cool to talk that way, but who understands you? And what you don't want is like that great movie, Cool Hand Luke. What we have here, boy, is a failure to communicate. So make sure you avoid that jargon. The third one is something I learned a long time ago, KISS. Keep it simple. You don't like stupid, being a Southerner, sweet potato pie, sweetheart, sweet, whatever you want to call it. But I like stupid. The simpler, the better. You've got to be credible. And in order to be credible, your messages must be have continuity and consistency. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Wear a mask. Continuity and consistency of message holds the key. Just like now with hurricanes coming through again. Oh, heaven forbid, this is the end of the hurricane season. Thank the good Lord. But understand that I'd rather work for a jerk person. What? They're consistent. Again, than somebody that's not a jerk that you don't know. Continuity and consistency of message. Humanize the subject. We are great storytellers. We are great storytellers. And I think it's important you understand the people that you talk about. I listened the other day to the first opening session of the PRSA conference on virtual. John Meekum, a historian, which I really love, he read a letter from President Bush, the first President Bush. And he asked, after this letter, after he lost his daughter to leukemia, and he broke down and cried. So John asked him, "What's going on, Mr. President?" He said, basically, if you want to know someone's heart, you have to know what breaks it. And if you think about that, again, I've seen destruction. I've seen my parents' home of 51 years destroyed by Katrina. I've seen that. So if you want to know someone's heart, you have to know what breaks it. So we have a responsibility to humanize. Every person has a story to tell. And the last one on this slide is beyond features to benefits. What are the benefits of doing this? Well, to me, staying alive. And that's a Bee Gees song. Staying alive, staying alive. I love that song. My family makes fun of me. They say I'm the lost member of the Bee Gees. They're still looking for me. Even in church, they tell me, please don't sing. All right, here we have a little bit about crisis communication, something that we need to think about. Again, we don't know how long we'll be in this. And then there's been other crises embedded in this crisis. So the first one is anticipate. What are the 10 possible things that could go wrong in your organization? You need to think outside the box. And that's a cliche, but you need to think that and understand that nonfiction is stranger than fiction. Who would have thought that things would fly our own planes into our own buildings on 9/11? Who thought that? So you've got to anticipate that. The second thing you've got to coordinate. Jackson is a big city, and the county that stretches, it's the major city in Mississippi, and Hattiesburg being a university town. Tupelo's got Elvis. There ain't nothing but a heart. But I love, Tupelo's a great city as well. But understand you've got to coordinate with the city, the county, the state, the federal government, all the different agencies before the crisis. So you have relationships with them. That's why organizations like PRAM are so important to what you do. And thank you for being a member of PRAM. Right, Gene? So make sure you join if you're not, because that relationship would help you coordinate. And that leads to the third one. Cooperate. We're in this thing together. Every Joint Information Center I ran, every Joint Information Bureau, and the Allied Press Camp I helped run at Normandy, in the 50th anniversary, we had 8,000 reporters from all the nations of the world except one, Germany, Achtung, bitte. We were in Normandy, France, where we were Couvreur de Mer. So understand that they had to all cooperate and work together. The same thing here if there's a crisis. Cooperate with each other. And maybe I need to change the communicate. I'm a big fan of Buzz Lightyear. To infinity and beyond. I love him. I've got a big one off to the side here. My granddaughter takes it and uses it. I don't know where she goes with it. But you've got to communicate, and you've got to communicate a lot with people and make sure they understand what you're telling them. We learned this in the military. When I became a public affairs officer in 1981, the Army sent me there to their school at Fort Ben Harrison. And then I had the honor of going back in 1996 and being the master instructor. And when the school moved to Fort Meade, Maryland, and I was the DOD media relations trainer. And I learned this called SAP in 1981. And it's good for crisis communication, and it's good for media relations. The S is for security. What is it we cannot release to the media, and why? If you're in the healthcare profession, God bless you, you have something called HIPAA. I think we went to Boo in the zoo here in Chattanooga, and it was a hippopotamus. I thought that's what HIPAA was, a hippopotamus. It's not. It's a law that prevents people from getting certain information. So understand, you need to tell the reporter why you cannot release something. That's called security. The A is for accuracy. What does that mean? Again, especially today, that's our job. We want to get it verified. We want to get it confirmed. We want to make sure the source is in fact a reliable source. And it just, again, I read 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts. And then I have a serious problem with news today because I've got talking heads. I have a brain. Southern Mississippi didn't give me the brain. They just helped perfect it. I mean, I was like the scarecrow. I had the brain way back when I was a kid. But understand, accuracy is so critical to what we do. So you've got to be the one to keep asking questions. What's the source? Can I confirm it? Can I verify it? Propriety is the third one. We have a policy in the Department of Defense, which I worship at its altar, and it's called next of kin notification. What does that mean? We do not release the names of any persons killed, injured, or missing until next of kin have been notified. Even with, and there it is, the New Orleans Saints phone, even with the internet, okay, and somebody videotapes somebody, I'm holding the name until the family knows for sure. And the 5 crises I dealt with, 4 of those women said, I don't want to talk to reporters. So I went to the podium and said, ladies and gentlemen in the media, she don't want to talk to you. You will talk to me, and I'm 6 foot, 210 pounds of sheer ugliness, or the man who wears the stars. And we're not talking about the Texaco man. So understand, you must defend that, even in the internet world. The last thing is policy. When you come forward in a news conference or on maybe a FaceTime call or YouTube or a Zoom call, you are your organization. Never argue policy in public, only in private. I only made full colonel. I'm sorry, light colonel. I wanted to make full colonel, but I had a problem. I would argue with the generals, and the general said, Trahan, I've heard enough of you. Go out and do this. Yes, sir. I got relieved 5 times for refusing to lie, but I knew I had to fight inside the organization. But understand, policy, you are the organization. So when I went through the door in uniform, I hated that cliche for the Army. An army of one, really? No way. Now we're Army strong, which is a good one. But the policy, you are your organization. And if you can't ethically deal with that, then resign, walk away. But understand, choose your battles. But policy is critical. You are your organization when you tweet as well. Be careful. All right. Some other principles we kind of talked a little bit about. I hit on it. It's called maximum disclosure and minimum delay. You have exactly 1 to 3 minutes to respond. In 1981, when the Army selected me to go to public affairs, and by the way, I wish Tulane would have had a public relations program. They still don't. But the Army selected me. I went through the course, and they said in 1981, you have 1 hour to communicate in a crisis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all 33 of you on this call, well, I guess 32 counting, 33 counting me. That idea of that paradigm of 1 hour, you ever seen the movie Stripes? That's been blown up, drill sergeant. Been blown up. You have exactly 90 seconds to shape the message. And the thing we're teaching is holding statements. A past, what you've done in the past, a present, and a future. And you have 1 to 3 minutes to get something out to shape that message. That's called maximum disclosure and minimum delay. That means, and we're going to talk about this, you must be right next to the top dog. So if Bill is my CEO, I need to be right with him. And I would tell generals when I was at PAO, sir, I need to know where you are, what you're doing, when you go into the bathroom, and what you're doing in the bathroom. And they'd say, what are you saying, Colonel? I said, sir, I need to be right next to you in a crisis because I need to help you get this information out because I want to shape that message. I'm developing the communication strategy that provides guidance, directions, and boundaries. And sir, it is imperative, and we'll come to this, that you bark as a top dog. The second thing is we talked a little bit about credibility already. Again, that continuity and consistency. I want my leader to be seen. I want my leader to be visible. I know there's literature out there that said, no, I want my leader out there. I worked for a man in the Army for 1 year. If that man called me right now and said, well, Dr. Tran, meet me tomorrow at 6 a.m. Where are we going, sir? We're charging hell. His name, General Powell. And he's a top dog. He believes it's a crisis, and I'll come back to this one. The top dog must bark first. So be visible, be out there, be accountable. The lawyers are going to say, no way, no way, no way, don't say anything. But think about organizations, especially today in COVID. I got to give Delta a credit. I'm going to give Delta a plug. And Bill, I'm not receiving any money from Delta for this plug. but I got to tell you, they've been impressive flying. Everybody has to wear a mask. They clean the plane. I have never seen in all my years of flying the plane so clean. They actually make an announcement on the plane. If the bathroom is dirty, we'll clean it. I'm thinking, what? And they give you hand sanitizer twice. Of course, you don't get coffee. Like sometimes I sit in first class, you get coffee. They don't do that. However, they're so committed to safety. They're being accountable for that. And I feel safe on the plane. And so to me, they do the following, the last bullet on there. They treat everyone the same way with respect and dignity. I am still heartbroken by what I saw in my city after Katrina. People of color were treated totally different from anybody else. And that's wrong. I'll never be president of the United States. I'm not old enough to be president. So understand that you have to treat everybody the same. They're all people. They're all people, and they have the same needs that we do. All right. Bill, any questions in the chat or anything? Or am I going too fast? Anybody saying slow down or something?
No, we're good.
Okay. This is from FEMA. Again, what we're teaching our FEMA public affairs officers. So I wanted to share this with you because I think in a crisis, and hopefully when I come in 2021 to Jackson and do a media relations workshop, we'll come back to this. We'll actually do an exercise crafting messages. Every message you send out must have 4 parts of it. Every message, especially in a crisis. Well, you say anytime. The first is trust. Why should I trust you? Why should I trust you? What makes you trustworthy? How many times have you lied to me? How many times have you told me the truth? I mean, and trust is earned. The message must have that. It must have that. Second is compassion. Is compassion. Again, that quote I gave you from President Bush the first about if you want to know someone's heart, if you have to know what breaks it. So again, so understand that trust, that compassion, that feeling for those people. It's got to be in the message. Again, and the words have to have meaning to that receiver. The third one is stability. I don't know what normal is going to look like. I have no idea. I have no problem wearing masks at all. I mean, what is normal? I do have a problem. I got to admit, and Bill, thank you for inviting me. I miss the interaction with people. Again, being Italian and being Cajun, my God, hugging, shaking hands, that's my part of my personality. And it's really tough. Now I elbow bump people, and that's really tough for me. It's very tough. But stability, what is stability? We're going to get through this. I mean, that stability, what is stability? What's it going to be? Again, we got to wear masks for another year. I don't have a problem with that. If that helps us move towards stability, if it helps lower the number of people that are infected by this disease. And the last one is hope. I got to believe it. I got to believe that we will, in fact, do this. I mean, I was a Saints fan. I've been a Saints fan all my life. And in 2009, when they won the Super Bowl, or 2010, I was there with my son. I had been a loser for 43 years. And I sat down after I cheered in Miami. We actually had 2 tickets. And I started crying. And my son said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Son, if I die tonight, I have seen the promised land." Because I never thought we would ever win a Super Bowl. But there's hope. There's hope. And now I'm pulling, maybe we can win another one more time. But understand, the messages you drive, the messages you put out must have those 4. Trust, compassion, stability, and hope. At this time, we would break into groups. We're not going to be able to do that. I think I only have about 10 more minutes. So this is called command message mapping, or also called gumbo command message mapping. So I just wanted to introduce this to you and maybe do a few more slides and maybe throw it open for questions, Bill. That might be the best thing. So the numbers at the top, 2793. If I had you in a classroom, we'd have a whiteboard right now. 27 represents the total number of words for command message 1, command message 2, command message 3. So there would be 9 words in each one of the messages. Again, KISS. Remember, every word in the English language has 2 meanings. A denotative meaning, which is a dictionary meaning of a word, and a connotative. Our great nation has many, many languages spoken in it. But understand, we're gonna stick with English right now. Of course, a lot of these messages are in fact translated to other languages. But remember, well, really every language has the same thing, a denotative and a connotative. So sticking just with English, even though I took Arabic for my language at Southern Mississippi, I can't speak it now. It's 1991. I passed the test and that was it. But again, remember, as a Southerner, we have a word we use called fixing or fix. And if you're not a Southerner, the denotative meaning of fix is to repair. Not Southerners, that means we're getting ready to do it. And every Southerner knows that. Every Southerner knows that. I'm a New Orleanian. In New Orleans, we make groceries. What? Make groceries? You build them? No, not New Orleans. That means you buy groceries. So again, knowing your audience is important. 9 is the 9 to 12 seconds for an average soundbite. I'm really concerned that that's going to go down even more, and maybe with emojis in it, and that's kind of scary. When I started in 1981, it was 15 to 25 seconds for a soundbite. Now we're down to 9 to about 12 or 13. 3 means 3 specific messages under it. So let me just walk you through what the messages should do. The first message you get out in the crisis should be who, what, where, when, why, how. Everything we possibly can get out as quickly as we can get out. The second message is, so what are you going to do to fix it? What are we doing to fix COVID? Testing. We've got drugs to help you get well. Hopefully a vaccine. Command message 3. What's the future look like? Are we going to be like this? And to Anthony Fauci, you're going to continue to tell us no handshaking. Again, so what's the future? That would be, again, 3 command messages, and then the following slide, 3 specific supporting messages. So for message 1, we'd have a specific comment about what happened. Specific 2, we'd have a specific example of what we're going to do to fix the message. Specific message 3, supporting message would be the future. This is what it looks like. We will have, and I'm just making this up, I don't know for sure, we will have a vaccine by April of 2021 that every American can get. I don't know if that's true. That would be wishful thinking. So I think I'm going to stop here, Bill, if that's all right with everybody, unless everybody wants to take and throw it open for questions and kind of go to the gallery, whatever.
Gallery.
Yeah, get rid of this down. There we go. So,
all right, any questions out there?
While they're thinking of questions, I'm going to do a door prize.
Yeah.
All right?
Oh, good. Oh, yeah.
Another one.
Oh,
I'm not cheating, and I did not kill anybody.
Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks.
Okay. All right. Jan Schaefer gets a $25 card.
Hey!
Yay! Thank you.
All right. And Jan, if you want to put your email or private message it to Robin, and she'll send you that Amazon card.
Right. Thank you.
Yes.
Any questions for Dr. Joe?
Anybody?
Okay, well, someone said, could you repeat the 9 in 2793?
The 9 is 9 to 12 seconds for the sound bite now. That's what we're looking at. Good question.
That's an amazing statistic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really
is. Christian said, did you ever get a chance to reconnect to Denfos or the 314th in Birmingham?
Oh, Christian, good to see you, my friend. Excellent. Outstanding. No, I did some training for the 314th after I left. I left Infos in, geez, crickets, 03 to open my own business. And I haven't been back. Well, I came back a few years after that and did a tour, a battlefield tour for a guide. I'm a battlefield tour guide for Gettysburg. I did that for them. And the 314th, I went back also and did some training for them as a contractor. So yeah. So Christian, nice to see you, my friend.
Christian's one of our APRMs.
Yeah, I know. That's outstanding.
Absolutely.
Outstanding.
Just started his doctoral program, I believe. Isn't that right, Christian?
Yeah. He'd be a good mentor for Mara. She could use him as a mentor. Yeah. I mean, that's outstanding. I'll be glad to be a mentor. I'll say too, if you need a mentor, let me know. I'll be glad to as well. I'm an official mentor with PRSA. So.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? I'll throw it back to you, Mary Margaret.
All right, it looks like we still have one more door prize left.
Oh, wow.
Carol. I think you're muted, Jean.
All right. I think we have two more because I have Chantel, Jan, and Kathy as winners.
I think I was supposed to call one.
Okay, so I'll do two. All right. So, all right. The next one is Susan Christensen. Is she here? I don't think I saw her.
I don't see her on here.
All right. She's out. Let's get another one. All right. Sorry, Susan. You gotta be here. You gotta be here to get your door prize. Mary Margaret. All right. And the last one, oh, I really hope it's one of our guests. Okay. All right. Bonnie Jackson.
All right.
All right.
Well, let me just say, I'm going to give mine to the student that I have here. I have one of my students on, Kuzari. I think he's still here. I'm hoping.
Excellent.
Are you here, Kuzari?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
There he is, and he's got a broadcaster's voice.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he does.
Speak again, Kuzari. He's one of my students, and we're looking forward to doing great things with him in IMC.
Yeah, I'm very excited in IMC. How y'all doing today? Good?
He sounds like Barry White.
He does. He's got
that deep voice.
Yes.
Hope he knows who Barry White is. I saw him in concert in 1972.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Oh, man. What a great performer, my friend. Oh, wow. Oh, man. I got all his stuff. Oh, my goodness.
Very good. So I'll share my gift with him. It's the $25 gift card to Amazon.
Sounds good.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, and our winner for bringing a guest. Want to go ahead and do that?
Oh, another
raffle as
draw.
well. We just got more raffles coming.
All right, so this is the last raffle. These are the names of the people, and your name goes in for each guest that you brought. So, all right. Here we go. Sophie Wolf.
Hey.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Maybe that's actually a good segue to the costume contest.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, yes.
All right. I have been working on this poll while we had our presentation, so I'm about to put it in the chat. This is a Survey Monkey. Please choose one choice for your favorite costume. We'll give it a minute or two here, but that is now live in the chat. And everybody go take this poll. And let's vote.
Man, there's some really good ones. I'm really
We couldn't pick the top two.
It's actually going to kind of put them all in order for us and tell us our.
So we'll have a
top
first,
one.
second, and third winner, so we will have more than one.
Yeah.
And if y'all want to take your cameras, turn them back on one more time. Now that we have some more people on there, we can do picture again. All right. Everybody wants to turn your camera on. There's a few more of y'all that were dressed up. If y'all can turn it on for just a second. Bonnie, we want to get you in your purple mask. Who else we got that was dressed? Even if you're not dressed up, you can still turn it on. And there we go. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all hold because I'm going to do two of each page. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. One more. Second group. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. All right, well, everybody's finishing voting and that is tallying. Does anybody else have anything else you would like to share? It does not have to be directly related to PRAM. If it's something with your organization, you are welcome to share as well. Anybody?
I just want to say thanks to Dr. Joe for being with us. He did such a wonderful job, and I really look forward to having him back.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you.
I agree. And y'all remember your vote is through the Survey Monkey, not in the chat.
Oh. Tom Selleck there looks really sharp there. When Tom had a lot of hair, he still has that mustache too.
You can't unsee the mustache.
No, that's and I think he's got royalties on the mustache. I think he did because he's got one on Blue Bloods too. I think it's I think it has royalties or it has insurance on the mustache. I think. I mean, he was excellent in that. And he's great in Blue Bloods too. I think he's like 73, 74. I mean,
yeah.
And if you want to go ahead and mark your calendars, Wednesday, November 18th will be our next meeting.
All right, I think we have costume results. I'm going to put a Survey Monkey link in here. These are the results. And it looks like we've got some clear winners here.
Oh. Uh-oh.
All right, it looks like Kathy wins first place, Gene Cook is second place, and Matt Westerfield is third place. Congratulations.
Hey. What do they get? What do they get? They get the $25 Amazon?
The first place winner gets $100.
Hey!
The second place gets $50, and the third place gets $25.
Oh, and a trip to Hawaii.
Yes.
That's a free trip to Matt's Zoom, Hawaii. That's cool.
Congrats, Kathy and Jean.
Yeah, well done.
Absolutely.
Awesome, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much for participating. We appreciate it. And again, we appreciate you. That was great. And I'm the same way. I hope by this time next year, maybe we're getting to have a workshop with you in person. Would be wonderful.
I'll be honored.
Here's to hopeful thinking, right?
Yes. Hope. Hope.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Well, thank y'all all for getting on today, and hope to see y'all in November.